Okay, hello everybody. This is Amber. Amber, how you feeling today?
A little hot, tired.
Tired? How you dealing with the heat here?
Honestly, just drinking tons of water, trying to stay in the shade as best we can.
Keeping hydration up. Where are you from?
Here, Arizona.
Born and raised?
Yep.
What part?
Sunny Slope.
Okay. Did you go to high schools here too?
Yes, I went to Intelli High School.
Finish it?
Yes.
Did you ever go to college?
Yes. I went to artistic beauty school.
How did it go?
Good. Yeah.
What's your current living situation right now?
Obviously on the streets.
How long you been on the streets?
About 4 years.
4?
4 years.
How did you become homeless?
Kind of a long story. Basically, I was seeing somebody, and it went to a really bad situation when I tried to ask my family if I could stay with them because of the past history with drugs, stuff like that. You know, they didn't trust that, I could live with them, so kind of ended up like this.
Are you still using any substances or?
No, not now.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Do you have any family of your own?
Yeah.
How many? Do you have kids?
Yeah.
How many kids do you have?
I have 4.
You keep in touch with them?
Yes. The 2 of them I do. The other 2 I don't.
They're probably older now, right?
Yes. 2 of them are older. Yes.
And how old are you?
34.
34? And you've been homeless yourself for the last 4 years?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any support coming anyway from your family, friends?
Yeah, a little. You know, my mom, she's in Colorado, but she'll help out here and there. She'll send me money and stuff like that, clothes when I need it or stuff like that sometimes. Not often, but she does what she can, And like my dad, he used to work for the Dream Center and stuff like that, which is another sober living place. And so he helps out, would bring us food and stuff, all that. I do have help, yeah. You know what I mean? And they're all trying to get me back on track, back on the street, all this stuff. You know what I mean? But they don't have a place for me to go, and it's really hard. If you're not on Social Security or you don't have a job, it's really hard to get into places. Now they're making it easier to get into housing, but there's still waiting lists and stuff like that because there's so many homeless people and not enough, resources.
So are you on one of those lists for the housing?
Yes.
So how long usually does it take to get there?
Honestly, it depends. Some people, I don't know exactly how they go by, but some people can get in within a month or a week, and some people they're on a waiting list for years. We've been on a list for 2 years, so.
They go by those requirements or whatever they
Maybe.
have.
So, I'm not really sure how they're picking and choosing who goes where or when, or maybe it's just the different places you sign up at. Because some places, some people say, oh, if you go to this place, you get in right away, and other places, they're saying it takes a while. So.
What's the vibe on the street here?
I don't know. It kind of it varies, from day to day, honestly. Sometimes it's kind of relaxed, and other days, it's scary because a lot of times, new people come around that, we're not used to, and they're stealing, or there's, people, getting beat up or robbed, or, you know what I mean? Homeless, stealing from homeless people, it can be rough. But, once you're in an area for a while, you have friends around and people that, they'll have your back and stuff, but it's kind of it comes in waves. Once, cops hit an area, let's say, if they hit Thomas, everybody from Thomas is going to move this way, you know what I mean? So you get a whole wave of new people that, don't follow the same rules and stuff we do, so it's just kind of goes up and down.
Do you try to go to the shelters at nighttime, or are you on the street?
No. Because, a lot of shelters, especially CAS, if you're people by yourself, it's especially bad, but even if you do have a husband or boyfriend with you, even still, people, they'll steal your stuff, girls get raped, guys get beat up, it's just all kinds of stuff. It's really bad down there. They don't have any, security or anything for anybody, It's just kind of you can come, you can sleep here, but you're pretty much on your own either way. And you're in such a small space, because you're closed in. It's just kind of a free-for-all, So it's safer to be out here where you can go hide somewhere and be by yourself,
Do you feel being scared by yourself here?
Well, no, because I'm not really by myself,
Oh, you got a boyfriend here?
Yeah, and then we also have, we never camp alone. We usually have at least 2 other people with us, you know what I mean? We always try to stay with the group, to protect each other, watch out for each other, so.
That makes you a little bit safer.
Yeah, for sure.
What would be one thing that people would never guess about you by just looking at you?
I don't know. Probably that I went to school and graduated and pretty intelligent. I don't know. A lot of people they're really surprised when they talk to me and stuff to realize they don't understand why I'm out here because I do have a higher education level than most and stuff like that. And I don't know. I don't steal from anybody. I don't rob anybody. I'm really like everybody calls me like the mom, or like, you know, because I take care of people. That's all I do. I'm always taking care of people, make sure everybody's okay and shit like that. And, like, a lot of people just assume like if you're homeless, you rob, you steal, you know, you do all that stuff. And like, I'm the complete opposite of all of that. You would understand. Well, why are you out here? Why are you doing this then? You know?
If you had the chance to start your life over, would you do it? Or would you go the same?
I'd probably do the same thing, honestly. Because I feel like out here, even honestly, I've had like tons of people tell me like, you know, they feel like they were meant to meet me or something like that. Like just by me just talking to them or being who I am helps them realize like, you know, life isn't as bad as it was. You know, so in a way, I'm kind of helping people out here too. You know, I like that feeling. I like being able to make people, you know, somebody who was willing to kill themselves earlier in the day is now like has something to live for. It feels like, you know, stuff like that. Because that's like one of the common things out here. People like to, a lot of times people, the biggest like misconception people get is people become homeless because they use drugs. When really, most people out here just lost their house or their job or whatever, and they ended up using drugs after they've been out here because just to cope with being out here, you know? That's the biggest like thing that people get confused on. Like not everybody ends up homeless because they're a drug user or they're a thief or anything like that. It's just life happens and then they end up resorting to the drugs just to get by living out here. So it's like some people are like, you know, they get suicidal or they, you know, start lashing out and doing all that stuff, just stealing and all that stuff just because they feel like there's nothing else they can do. And then, you know, sometimes once in a while I can just change one of those people's mind and get them to, you know, change what they're doing. And I like that feeling. So.
What would be one thing that you never did but you wish you'd done? Or maybe something that you want to do in the future?
I don't know, probably be like some kind of counselor or something.
Be counselor?
Yeah, just help people, you know, like be somebody who can come out and do what you're doing, like come out, you know, interview people, talk to people, help people, you know, like one day could be the one coming out here bringing them clothes, bringing them food, drinks, water, you know, just helping when nobody else will, you know, because people are too scared. I think that's the biggest thing. They're just, not that they don't like us or hate us, it's just they're scared because they don't understand it, you know. But if they took the time to come out and actually talk to people like you do, you'd see the different side of it, that there is not just bad to it, you know what I mean? There are some good people out here who clean up after themselves and, you know, don't rob and steal and so.
If you were mayor of this town and you had one thing to do to solve the homelessness, how would you do it? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Honestly, I don't know if there'll be a way to fully solve it, you know what I mean? Because the cost of living here is just more than what people can make, you know what I mean? Like, to rent a house is more than people can make, or to get into, actually, it's mainly getting into one. Like, they expect 3 times over what you get paid to move into a place. Nobody here has 3 times over. They're barely living paycheck to paycheck most of the time. So it's like, I don't think that's ever going to solve an issue. People are always going to either not be able to get into a place or they're just going to get evicted for stupid rules. But I think if they would just have stuck to making like those little micro houses or something like that, places where we can go until we can get into housing somewhere or something, like that would be better. Or open more shelters or something. But there's just not enough safe shelters. Like the casting doesn't work. That outdoor where everybody's outdoors in one area doesn't work. Like we need to be inside somewhere like everybody else, you know?
Especially in the summer when it gets 120, 130 outside.
You know, and like now they said you can't have tents anywhere. You know, they took all those tents down at the cast area and stuff. So it's like, that was the closest thing to a shelter they had. And now nobody has that anymore, you know? Can't have those anymore. And it's like, we have to have something when it rains or when it's hot or whatever. Like, we can't protect ourselves everywhere because if we go hide under a building like that, then the cops come and say we're trespassing, you know? Even when it's raining. So it's like, if they can make some kind of structures where we're actually indoors somehow, even if it's just buy a tent or something, that's better than just directly out here, you know? And like once people are inside, a lot of people just, that's the biggest thing too, is like, jobs don't want to hire you if you don't have if you can't take a shower or you don't have a place to go. You know, as soon as they hear you're homeless, they're like, well, you're never going to make it to work, you can't do this, so they won't even hire you. So it's hard for a lot of us to even try to get a job, because the first thing they do is they're going to turn us away the second they hear homeless, done, you know? They don't even give people a chance. But if we had a place to go where they had either community showers or you had your own little shower and your own little hut thing or something, you know what I mean? It'd be a little different. But it's just, you know, there's a lot of things we can't do just because people stereotype the second you hear you're homeless or like walk into a store with a backpack on, automatically they're going to assume you're homeless and you're going to steal, you know? It's just a lot of stuff like that.
Where do you see yourself in, let's say, 2 or 3 years from now?
2 or 3 years from now, I see myself most likely in my own place or either in like a one of those like assisted living, not assisted living, sorry, like the sober living or whatever they're called, like the housing They have like some houses where, you know, it's like
Section 8 housing?
no, not Section 8. It's kind of like once you're sober, like they'll place you in housing where you kind of have like a couple of roommates or something. Like you'll have a room with a roommate. You have to do some classes, stuff like that, you know. They'll help you get a job. They'll help you get all kinds of stuff like that. Like I have stuff like that I have to do for court order. You know what I mean? After getting arrested for like being out here. So like now I have to take classes and stuff like that. And one of the requirements is to be into some kind, either in my own housing or in some kind of like sober living place. So I'll be doing that obviously soon. So that'll be good. But
Do you have any Cash App or email that you would like to share for those of you that when they watch the video, if they recognize you, they want to help you out?
yeah.
You can share if you want, if you have Cash App or email.
Okay. My Cash App is the $, it's all capitals. It's Amber, but the E is a 3, and then Chanel, and the E is a 3, and it's Chanel like the perfume. So it's AMB3RCHAN3L, all capital. That's the Cash App. And then my email is mommy, MOMMY, the number 2, and then Niklaus is NIKLAUS @gmail.com.
And are you okay if I put this on my YouTube?
Yes.
Amber, I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate your story. I wish you all the best going forward in your life. And Life in Income is going to pray for you. Thank you, Amber.
Thank you.